Hey, Grandma, are your potatoes ready? Yep, they turned out delicious again this year. I've got plenty, so feel free to share some with your friends. Awesome, Grandma. Everyone loves your potatoes. They'll be thrilled. The one who cheerfully ran off was Kyle, my grandson, my son and his wife's child. He's a soccer-loving 6th grader. I'm Bella, and I'm 65 years old. I lost my husband to illness 3 years ago, but he left me enough money that I could live comfortably on survivor's benefits. My only child is my son Clive, who's 40. He's happily married to Lizzie. And the young Kyle I mentioned before is their son. Right now, I live alone in an apartment unit my late husband left behind. My son and his family live in the unit next to mine, both part of an 8-unit apartment building. Since we're neighbors, we usually share meals. In a way, it's like living in a multi-generational home. Lizzie hails from Montana and has strong local pride. My home state of Idaho borders Montana, so she always views us as rivals and tries to one-up me. My son Clive just laughs at our antics and says, "You two are at it again, huh?" We were a pretty normal family until a big issue arose regarding where my grandson should go for middle school. Lizzie, possibly influenced by others, wanted to enroll Kyle in a prestigious private school. Sure, getting into a top private school can set him up for high school and college, but Kyle wanted to attend a school known for its soccer program. I wanted to respect my grandson's wishes, but Clive felt stuck between Lizzie and I. During one particular dinner, we had buffalo meat. True to her Montana roots, Lizzie had prepared Montana-raised buffalo. "Oh, I prefer Idaho steak, you know," I retorted lightly. "Oh, just regular beefsteak?" "Oh, you're from Montana, so of course you'd say that. What else is there in Montana besides buffalo and elk? It's kinda sad." "Excuse me? Idaho's got nothing but potatoes. Don't act like you're better." "What are you even talking about?" "Can you guys cut it out? Why does it always turn into a my state's better than your state argument every time you meet?" Clive, acting as the referee, jumped in. "I love both Montana and Idaho. Montana buffalo is delicious, and I'm a huge fan of Idaho potatoes." Even our grandson Kyle chimed in to support. How adorable. It's hard to believe he was born from someone as ridiculous as Lizzie. And then came the usual catchphrase at the end. "Pfft, raised on nothing but Idaho potatoes and acting like this?" "Hey, challenge me all you want. I'll turn the tables on you." Amidst this, dinner started. Lizzie and I ate in silence. Clive was chatting with our grandson. "So what's going on recently? You're graduating elementary school soon. Got any plans for middle school?" "Yeah, I'll probably go to the local middle school, but the class president, Tavon, is going to a private middle school in the city." "You can go to a private school if you want." "I'd rather go to a school that's good at soccer." Lizzie's eyes sparkle. "Don't aim for being a jock. Focus on your studies, get into a good college, and become a senior-level government official. You'll have a stable income, and I can rest easy." "But I want to be a Major League Soccer player in the future." I chimed in. "Oh, a soccer player, huh?" "Yeah. Most athletes retire before they're 40. A stable government job is way better than gambling on a sports career." "But I really love soccer. I want to play middle and high school, whether I turn pro or not." "Forget about that. You should be aiming for a prestigious private middle school. You'll be on the right track to an elite life." "I get it. Stability is valuable these days." Uh-oh, even Clive was starting to agree with Lizzie. I had to hold the fort for Kyle. "After all, why should we listen to a grandma who only went to a rural high school? I'm a college grad. My opinion is more valid." Lizzie also graduated from college. There was no way I could win. I only graduated from a local high school. But what's important is how Kyle feels, and we should respect that. "So you're saying it's okay if Kyle doesn't go to college? It's only natural for parents to want their child to go to college, right? So, Grandma, maybe you shouldn't interfere too much with our kids' decisions." Clive stepped in to referee again. "We're the ones responsible for Kyle's future, right? So, Mom, we'll consider your opinion, but don't push too hard." Oh my, Looks like it was a win for Lizzie. The silver lining was when Kyle said to me, "Grandma, you really do think about me, don't you? Thanks so much." I felt like crying when I heard those words from my grandson. Darn it, I couldn't back down now, I thought as I bit into the slightly overcooked and charred buffalo meat, muttering, you got this, like it was a mantra. But from that day on, Lizzie's behavior changed abruptly. Kyle stopped coming to my room to hang out. Lizzie had forbidden him from entering my room, and then Kyle started having more after-school tutoring sessions. He was attending a cram school that specialized in preparing kids for private middle schools. Naturally, this wasn't cheap. Clive went to a decent college and worked at an okay company, but he hadn't climbed the corporate ladder due to his timid personality. So their income was pretty average. While we don't have to worry much about housing expenses, sending Kyle to a private school would be a stretch. So they were planning to have me foot the bill. I mean, we're stretched thin as it is. If you care about your grandson, maybe you can help us out, haha. Lizzie was bound to say that sooner or later. Then one day, Lizzie came into my room holding some snacks. The afternoon was drifting by, but there was definitely tension in the air. So I thought as I crunched on one of the cookies she brought. So, about Kyle. Lizzie started. What about him? You told me not to interfere, remember? Yes, but private middle school is expensive. Clive's salary won't cover it. We went back and forth, each trying to maintain the upper hand. This isn't new information, Lizzie. You knew this already. What's going on? You're college educated, aren't you? I confronted Lizzie, fully prepared for a showdown. True, but times are tough. The cost of living keeps rising. I might need to find part-time work. Lizzie replied. Was she trying to bluff? Well, you're young, Lizzie. Kyle is growing up. Maybe it's good for you to go out and work. I tried to counterbluff. But a part-time job won't bring in that much money. I want something more stable. Lizzie retorted. I had enough with the beating around the bush. So, what if we use the income from this apartment to cover Kyle's tuition? Why are you discussing this with me? Isn't this something your own family should discuss? That's when I saw a glint in Lizzie's eyes. What if we rent out your room, Bella? Then we could use that extra rent to help pay for Kyle's school. You want me to leave? Does Clive agree with this? I felt like my breath had been taken away. You have a pension, Bella. You're doing fine, so if you agree to cover Kyle's tuition, you can stay. Otherwise, we'll need you to move, she said. This is so sudden. What do you expect me to do? I had no choice but to endure this moment. Don't you love Kyle? Think about his future. It's either you leave or help with the expenses. We need an answer soon. Kyle's exams have already started. With that, Lizzie left my room, a triumphant look on her face. Once she was gone, I remembered how to breathe again. I loved my grandson Kyle, of course. I wasn't neglecting the issue at all. When I thought about it being for my grandson, Lizzie's perspective did somewhat make sense. Still, I'm not someone who just nods along easily. I pondered what the best course of action would be. Kai was about to hit adolescence. I noticed he had been acting a certain way around his childhood friend Vicky. I'll use Vicky as bait to see what happens. One day I came across Vicky and Lizzie chatting in the park. Lizzie was doing most of the talking, with Vicky just nodding from time to time. Finally, it seemed like they had a real conversation, and Lizzie left with a smile, patting Vicky on the head. I approached Vicky after Lizzie had walked away. Vicky.
Oh, Kyle's grandma, hi there.
Vicky's face lit up when she saw me. It's been a while. With graduation coming up for you, you must be busy, huh?
Yeah, Kyle's mom just suggested that maybe I should go to the same school as Kyle.
Really? Well, Kyle hasn't made up his mind yet. He's so indecisive, you know.
Really? Kyle's mom said he's set to go to the prestigious Phillips Academy. She thinks I should go there too.
So, Lizzie and I have the same opinion? Do you want to go to the same school as Kyle?
If I can, I would love to go to the same school, but I'm not as smart as Kyle.
Oh, The innocent heart of a young girl. I remember feeling the same way at her age. Kyle hasn't decided on Phillips Academy. He's more into soccer. My guess is he'll probably opt for Noble and Greenway School.
Really? If it's that school, I might stand a chance.
Vicky's eyes sparkled. Yes, Grandma doesn't lie. Vicky looked down.
But Kyle's mom told me if you get into Phillips Academy, it would make Kyle happy, so try your best.
No, it's the other way round. Lizzie wants to use you to get Kyle into a prestigious school. Kyle likes you, so Lizzie thinks if you go there, it'll motivate him. Vicky blushed at my words.
Kyle likes me? Is that true?
Ah, the purity of youth. Reminds me of my own teenage years.
He doesn't hold my hand anymore. He's been mean, doing things like throwing balls at me and pulling my hair.
Well, that's how you know he likes you. Boys his age are basically silly. They can't say they like you, so they act mean to get attention.
Really?
Yes, really. At your age, girls mature faster than boys. So while you're growing up, the boys are still kids. I've had similar experiences when I was your age.
I see.
So when Kyle is mean to you, just smile and say, "You're such a kid, haha." He'll start being nicer once he knows you won't react to his teasing. That's when boys give up.
Okay, thanks, Grandma.
You're welcome. Thank you for caring about Kyle. I think you two will be together for a long time. And besides, I bent down to whisper in Vicky's ear, Grandma would be delighted if you became Kyle's wife. Vicky's face turned even redder and stammered.
No, wait, maybe, but, well...
You're going to turn out to be a wonderful woman, Vicky. Mark my words.
Thanks, Grandma.
Waving her hand, Vicky headed home. Watching her leave made me feel nostalgic, even though I was 65. Then during dinner.
So, Kyle, it seems Vicky might be going to Phillips Academy too. Maybe you should consider her if she's going.
Lizzie hinted at Kyle.
It doesn't matter. She can do whatever she wants. You like Vicky, don't you? Wouldn't it be nice to go to the same school?
I don't like her. She's annoying.
Really? You both said you'd get married back in kindergarten. Why not go to the same middle school?
Lizzie pushed Kyle. What are you talking about? That was just child's play. You're crazy, Mom.
Don't you think Vicky's parents would be happy? You two have been together since kindergarten.
Are we talking about marriage or middle school?
Both. I would be happy too. I have dreams for the future, and I want to go to a prestigious school known for soccer.
Well, that worries me. My life, my choice. My dream is to win the World Cup. So unrealistic. Only a few become pros. So following your logic, I'd definitely be happy. You're deciding my life for me. No thanks.
How could you say that? I'm only thinking about your well-being.
Then support my dream. I want you to root for me. In response to Kyle's feelings, I threw him a lifeline. I'll support you. You learned to kick a ball before you could throw one. You can totally be a soccer player. Thanks, Grandma. Don't forget to focus on your studies. Soccer isn't just physical. Clive joined the support. I will. I have to speak Spanish if I want to play overseas. How wonderful, my dear grandson. In the midst of this lively discussion, only Lizzie was mumbling something. Kyle told us Vicky recently developed an interest in soccer. How amazing if he joined the U.S. men's national team and Vicky the women's. Just as I was thinking that, Lizzie came into my room. Bella, it's about Kyle. What happened?
It's about the tuition for his private middle school. We talked about this before, remember?
I told you no. You and Clive can pay for it. Maybe get a part-time job.
I'm emotionally fragile, so dealing with workplace relationships would probably make me sick. I doubt I could handle a job.
What was she talking about? She's thick-skinned enough to aim for my savings.
So it's pretty much down to two options here. Either you pay, or we move out to increase the rent income.
I'm sorry, but it's a parent's job to take care of their child. You both are parents, and you can't even raise one kid? You're failing as parents.
If you have time to say that, then I'd like you to leave this room. Bella, you have enough assets to live comfortably even if you move out, right? Why don't you consider a senior home? I'm not gonna take care of you.
Don't worry. I never planned on asking you anyway.
I thought you'd say that, so I've already made arrangements.
Arrangements? Lizzie then pulled out a stack of brochures from her bag.
These are nursing home brochures. Pick one and move out, will you?
I'm sorry, but I have no plans to move.
Don't you care about your grandchild?
I'm here because I do care about my grandchild. Kyle is a good kid. He appreciates me and loves the roasted potatoes I make.
It's because he eats those potatoes all the time that he thinks Idaho is some backwater place.
Says someone from Montana where they only have buffalo. Just then,
Grandma, I'm home.
Kyle returned home at the perfect moment. Ah, Kyle, welcome home.
Why do you go to Grandma's instead of coming home?
Because you don't give me snacks, but Grandma gives me roasted potatoes.
Gosh dang it.
Lizzie was frustrated. I smugly served some roasted potatoes. Here you go, I made some today too.
This is it. Even my friends say Idaho potatoes are a great snack. They're sweet, filling, and good for you, right?
Yep, they're rich in dietary fiber. They help strengthen your stomach so you can enjoy all kinds of food.
Oh, no wonder I enjoy Mom's food more. It's not that she got better at cooking. Gosh dang it.
Go on, Kyle, keep it up.
Anyway, I'll discuss this matter with my husband, so please have a decision by next time.
With that, Lizzie stormed out of the room. Then one day, I saw Kyle and Vicky at the park. Kyle was teaching Vicky how to play soccer. Both were chasing the ball with smiles on their faces. Lizzie suddenly appeared and approached me. She looked mad, as if she was snorting angrily.
Bella, where have you been?
Just out shopping. Why?
Please be prepared for an important conversation after dinner tonight.
Okay. With that, she left, even angrier than before. Dumbfounded, I watched her go. Then Kyle and Vicky came over. What happened? Are you fighting with Mom again? Well, you know, it shows how close we are. I think she wants to talk about your future, Kyle. So, what do you really want to do?
After thinking about it, I'd like to go to Noble and Greenway School.
All right, leave it to Grandma. You'll make it to the U.S. men's team for sure. And Vicky turned out to be a helpful ally.
Kyle, you could definitely make it, and I'll make it onto the U.S. women's team.
You still have a long way to go, though, Vicky.
That's why I'm going to practice a lot. I'm even thinking about going to Noble and Greenway Middle School.
Me too. It'd be great if we could go there together.
Yeah.
Come on, kiddo, you're a bit dense. Get a clue about Vicky's feelings. Anyway, dinner's almost ready. How about we call it a day?
Okay. All right then, Kyle. Kyle's grandma. Goodbye.
That evening, after a mostly silent dinner, we finally broached the subject of concern.
So, Bella, you said you'd support Kyle. What does that mean exactly? Talk is cheap, you know.
Well, firstly, getting him the soccer gear he needs, I guess.
Kyle wants to go to Noble and Greenway School. It's a private school, so it's going to cost quite a bit.
Did she finally understand Kyle's dream? I took a sip of my tea, feeling a bit relieved when she said,
If you're supporting him, then the least you could do is help with tuition. So I'll just say it. Please move out.
Excuse me? I exclaimed.
The owner of this apartment is your son, Clive, right? Which means we have the right to tell tenants to leave. I can't tolerate your interference in our lives anymore, Bella.
Really? You sure you want to say that to me?
What's got into you, acting all tough?
All right, it was time to stop Lizzie's nonsense. Are you really saying all this for Kyle? Weren't you losing the mom rivalry at his elementary school? Getting jealous that a rival mom's kid is going to a top private middle school? So now you're pushing Kyle to go to Phillips Academy? Plus, Clive told me you've been overspending on clothes, jewelry, lunches, and parties. So you're short on money and want me to cover tuition, right?
Gosh dang it.
I heard you've been secretly using credit cards, even borrowing from sketchy sources to make the payments.
How did you...
Oh, just like you have mom friends, I have grandma friends. We gossip about our daughter-in-laws and sons. And let's just say, I'm the boss grandma around here. News travel fast in this neighborhood. Don't underestimate seniors. We can use smartphones too, you know.
Gosh dang it.
There it is, another gosh dang it for the collection.
What's the big deal? Clive inherited from Grandpa, and he owns this apartment. A little reckless spending won't hurt us.
That's when Kyle chimed in.
Hold on, Mom, you're mistaken.
Kyle.
I could hear you because you were arguing so loudly while I was trying to study.
He then sat down, crossing his legs, looking quite exasperated. What is he, an old man?
What's this mistake you're talking about? Kids shouldn't interfere in adult conversations. But you're fighting about me, right? I'm involved, so I should get a say.
Don't you talk back to me.
All right, but Mom, you've got it wrong on several fronts. What are you talking about? What's wrong? Listen, Dad isn't the landlord of this apartment. The landlord is Grandma. Dad told me that's how I know.
What? Seriously?
And Dad knows about the money issue too. He said we'll be out of credit soon. Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Exactly, so there it is. I always knew you were bad with money, but I didn't expect you to be in debt.
Oh, hi, Clive.
Yes, Mom told me all about it recently. After a lot of thought, this is what I've decided. Then Clive handed over divorce papers. I can't live with you anymore. I don't want Kyle around a mother who's using him to keep up appearances. Both Kyle and my mom agree.
I don't want to be with someone who sees me as just a tool either. I'm good as long as I have Grandma and Dad.
Hearing this from her husband and child, Lizzie hung her head speechless. So we're getting a divorce. I'll split the assets fairly, but I can't cover the debt you've accumulated. That's on you.
But...
As for the inheritance from my father, I won't get much, since Mom is still alive, haha. And don't you dare shatter Kyle's dreams for the sake of your ego. A parent's job is to push their children forward, not hold them back. Bam, decision made. Lizzie sat down as if the wind had been knocked out of her. A while later, the divorce became official, and Lizzie moved out of the apartment. She's reportedly working in a factory in Idaho to pay back a suspicious loan. She's broke and surviving on potatoes. Karma is real. She's being saved by the Idaho potatoes she once mocked. When fall came around, Kyle started school at Noble and Greenway, just as he hoped. Kyle, who has been a soccer star since elementary school, was welcomed warmly. Vicky also made it into the same school. Congratulations on getting in, Vicky. It's great you'll be at the same school as Kyle.
Thank you, because you encouraged me. I was able to work hard. Thank you so much.
You did it because you worked hard. So, are you joining the girls' soccer team?
No, it seems a bit much for me, but I plan on becoming the boys' team manager.
Well, that sounds good too. Please take care of Kyle.
Yes, of course.
Vicky blushed and looked down as she spoke. Ah, the beginning of their teenage years. Hey Vicky, let's go sign up for the soccer club.
Coming.
And with that, Vicky hugged me and ran off. Well, Kyle, you go chase your dreams. I hope you'll win the World Cup while I'm still around. That way, I can brag about you to Grandpa in heaven.